You were never missing. You just forgot you once believed that love meant finding someone to complete you, a missing half to your broken soul. You longed for a partner who would arrive like a savior, filling every empty space inside you. But that belief, however romantic it may seem, is a myth, a beautiful, dangerous illusion. Carl Jung shattered that dream with one profound truth. Wholeness doesn't come from losing parts of yourself for someone else. It comes from integrating all that you already are. Real integration begins when you stop searching outward for your missing piece and turn inward for your forgotten truth. The one who enters your life at this level, they don't complete you. They awaken you. They mirror back to you the version of yourself you buried. The one who was bold before fear took over, who dreamt freely before others said, be realistic, who dimmed their own light just to keep others comfortable. They don't arrive as rescuers. They arrive as reminders. And that's why the experience hits different. It's not just emotional, it's spiritual. Because they don't only see the surface level you. They see the fragments you've denied, the pieces you've rejected, the parts of you you've been too afraid to claim. And they silently hold space, sacred space, for you to gather all those scattered selves and bring them back home. This is what a true soulmate does. Not to become your missing half, but to reveal to you that you were never missing anything. You just forgot. Forgot because of the pain you endured. Forgot because you were molded by rejection, shaped by your childhood, silenced by years of trying to be enough. They appear not as fantasies, but as mirrors. And mirrors don't just reflect beauty. They reflect strength, power you buried, depth you didn't know you had, wholeness you thought you lost. And that's why it feels both exhilarating and terrifying. Because when someone stops trying to fix you and instead sees you as already whole, you're forced to face a hard truth. Maybe you never needed fixing. Maybe you only needed remembering. That's what they do. They remember you back to yourself, not through fixing, not through saving, but by offering the presence where you feel safe enough to finally heal on your own. That's real love, not fantasy, not dependency, but deep soul-level integration. Because the one who truly loves you will never make you feel incomplete. They will simply remind you, with their steady presence, that you've always been everything. The shadow isn't a monster. It's your wounded self, Carl Jung once said. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And that unconscious part of you, that's your shadow. But your shadow is not your enemy. It's not a demon to destroy or a flaw to hide. It's the wounded, rejected version of you that's begging to be seen, to be held, to be loved. You were taught that love should look perfect, that it should be soft, gentle, always smiling. But real love, it's raw, it's honest. It surfaces your darkest truths so they can finally be transformed. The soulmate who truly shifts you isn't the one who always keeps the peace. It's the one who awakens your inner war so you can end it. With compassion, they don't run from your pain. They sit in it with you. And in doing so, they create a mirror so clear that you can finally see your own shadow, not as something shameful, but sacred. Every trauma, every defense mechanism, every moment you wanted to scream but stayed silent, it's all part of your inner landscape. They help you walk through it, not around it. This is where transformation begins. Not by chasing light, but by learning to hold the dark with tenderness. That's what this person helps you do. They hold your wounds with so much grace, you stop seeing them as flaws. You begin to understand that healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to hate yourself. Your soulmate helps you make peace with your past by teaching you to love what you once tried to bury. They don't glorify your pain, but they don't shame it either. They give it a seat at the table, and in doing so, give you permission to finally feel whole. The shadow no longer haunts you. It becomes your teacher. It becomes your strength. And in that strength, you begin to reclaim every part of yourself you once gave away just to feel loved. That's not just love, that's liberation. 3, you don't find them. Your soul calls them, and the deepest connections in life don't come from chance. They come from alignment, from the frequency of your healing, from the quiet prayers you whispered on nights you thought no one was listening. The person who enters your life at that sacred point, they don't walk in randomly. They are summoned by your soul. You didn't find them. You remembered them. Because long before you crossed paths in this life, your souls had already agreed to meet, not to save each other, but to awaken each other, to serve as catalysts, mirrors, triggers, and ultimately, guides back home. They challenge you, yes. They force you to face everything within you that still needs healing, but they don't abandon you in that process. They stand beside you as you unravel, as you confront, as you rebuild. And through it all, they love you, not despite your darkness, but because of your courage to face it. This kind of love doesn't always feel comfortable. It feels sacred, familiar, ancient, like you've known them before, in lifetimes you can't remember but your soul never forgot. That's why even in silence you feel seen. Even in chaos you feel safe. Their presence awakens your purpose. Their energy activates your truth. And with them, you no longer feel the need to hide, to shrink, to perform. You just are. And that is more than enough. Because they don't fall in love with the mask. They fall in love with the soul beneath it. And when they hold you, really hold you, it's not your body that relaxes, it's your spirit. The restless, wounded, searching spirit that finally realizes you were never lost. You were just waiting to be found by someone who knew how to see you fully. This is not fantasy. This is not a fairy tale. This is remembrance. This is soul recognition. This is what it feels like to come home, not to a place, but to a person who reflects your truth so clearly. You finally remember, you are not missing. You are whole, and you are finally deeply seen.